Thank you very much. Thank you. Comrades and friends, 4 weeks ago, almost to the day, I came to this country and indicated my wish for us to have a national reset as a people and as a nation. Little did I know that in the hours leading up to my address, Mother Nature had dealt a very hard blow to several communities in the southeast of Dominica. It was one thing to hear of persistent showers and light rain in any part of Dominica. In this country, rain is our second nature. It rains almost every day in some parts of Dominica. But it wasn't until hours and days after the rains subsided that we got a true appreciation for the nature and extent of the damage that had been caused by this trough system. As simple as it might sound, to those of you who have not yet visited the southeast of this country, you're talking about an easy $350 million to do the relocation and reinstatement that is required to return a degree of normality to the lives of the people of these communities. I know you may ask, what does this have to do with the calling of elections and the pursuit of a national reset? I say to you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, it has everything to do with a need for a national reset in our country. 72,000 people or less and a workforce of just over 20,000 people cannot generate $350 million in the next 5 years to afford resolution of the problems besetting our brothers and sisters in the east and southeast of our country. The job at hand cannot be done by any government. It cannot be led by any prime minister. It matters, ladies and gentlemen, which party is elected to office on December 6, 2022. It matters who is elected as prime minister and who is sent abroad as the standard bearer of this country to raise funds to assist victims of this national natural disaster. There are attempts in this country, ladies and gentlemen, to confuse the issues at hand in these general elections. We have dealt with the red herrings one by one. We have addressed the issue of the calling of snap elections. It is generally accepted today in Dominica and the world over that there was absolutely nothing wrong, legally or otherwise, with the calling of early elections in our country. We have made clear that our party is committed to undertaking a review of our current electoral practices and will be guided by the majority views of the various stakeholders. Indeed, I met over the weekend with officials of the various observer teams on the ground in Dominica, and I have indicated to them all that as soon as the report of the sole commissioner is submitted, I shall share it with them and enlist their comments before preparing a final draft submission to the Parliament of this country. So let no one be in doubt as to the commitment of this Dominican Labour Party to pursue and effect needed changes to our electoral processes in Dominica. We are the ones who have been in the vanguard of such changes. The Labour Party has been in the vanguard of these changes. The other side is using pretty terms, such as electoral reform. We call it, ladies and gentlemen, modernization of the process. The National Identification Card Initiative is a given. All countries in the Caribbean are moving in this direction. Some are more advanced than others. Dominica is certainly not at the back of the line in this regard. We shall introduce national identification cards, not only for voting, but for almost every public purpose currently requiring any form of personal identification on the island. There is no need to block roads and burn tires for this. All of Dominica are one on the need for this. And we shall do it and do it efficiently when once we are agreed on the national data collection and management service that will have to be employed. Creation of that data management service will involve, I am sure, a national population census and voter enumeration exercise. This shall include, but be not limited to, creation of a new list of eligible voters on Dominica. These are initiatives on which there is no national divide. We have been talking about them for years, and we are inching closer and closer each day to the coming on stream and into effect and into reality of these needed modern changes. So this notion of Dominica being divided down the center on issues of electoral process changes is absolute nonsense. We're with the report of the sole commissioner. We're with the outcome input of the various stakeholders. The process will provide for input of resident and non-resident Dominicans. These things shall be done in accordance with the recommendations of the sole commissioner, as well as informed opinion and advice from the Commonwealth, the OAS, CARICOM, the Carter Center, and all other interest groups. But you cannot put the building of a country on hold because of the need for modernization of processes. There's nothing to suggest, absolutely nothing to suggest, that general elections on Dominica over the past 30 years have been anything but free and fair. The same system that was used in 1995 to elect the Workers' Party to government is the same system on which this Dominica Party was elected in 2000 and which it has used over the years. We said in 2019 we would effect far-reaching changes, and that process is underway. But I said on November 6th that the current malaise that impacted the country after the COVID pandemic and consequences of the global social and economic and political meltdown were untenable. I felt there was too much uncertainty and that the country needed as a whole to take fresh strategic guard. We needed to agree on a path forward, and these are the discussions that I want to have with key stakeholders come January 15, 2023. Indeed, neither COVID nor the war and supply chain difficulties can be spoken of in the past tense because all are current issues today, ladies and gentlemen. They're all current issues confronting Dominica. So we need to take fresh guard as a country. And these are among reasons why I decided to call the elections in Dominica. And let us say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that COVID and the Russia-Ukraine war is still with us today. It is still affecting us as it did yesterday, and there's no doubt it will affect us tomorrow. And so we're here in Wesley to launch Fidel Grant. And right here in Wesley, we shall have the construction of the international airport, ladies and gentlemen. And I can say to you that that project will receive the highest priority for the government because that project will help transform our country and create greater opportunities for our people. Ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward as a country, we have to recognize that COVID-19 dealt us a serious blow. And therefore, we have to set new priorities. We have to reorder our priorities in this country. And I do not think that we had time to wait to wait to do these things because people need a better way of life in our country, and this is what we shall provide to you in this coming term. So, ladies and gentlemen, the national reset I have called for from January will deal with issues such as prioritization of spending. We need modern infrastructure, but at the same time, too many of our families are at the mercy of the elements. There's still too many of us waiting for a home, a comfortable home, and that will receive a priority come January 2023, ladies and gentlemen. So you here in West Woodford and Palm Tree, yes, we are building 16 homes, but I give you the assurance that that number will increase dramatically in our new term. We have to determine the order of emphasis, ladies and gentlemen. 2 months ago, relocating scores of families in the Southeast was not the forefront in policies of this government. Tonight, it is a priority number one for a re-elected Dominica Labour Party government. We were laughed out of the water when we spoke years ago about our housing revolution. But imagine the old housing stock of 2000 being still today the quality of housing in Dominica. Given this strange weather phenomenon that has overtaken our region and our world. Climate change is no abstract topic for the people of Dominica, ladies and gentlemen. It is real. We feel the impact of climate change on our daily lives. So this evening, I have reintroduced to you half of the new team that the Dominica Labour Party will be leaning very heavily on for the new ideas and approaches to managing the challenges that we will confront you, the residents of Dominica. As you have seen in these past few weeks, we are not discarding anyone. All the non-returning PAL reps who wish to continue giving of their time and experience to this government and country will be called upon to give such service in one form or the other. But Labour has to prepare for 2023. Labour has to prepare to reboot this economy. Weather aside, war aside, COVID aside, we must get on with the task of rebooting and rebuilding this country and its economy. Labour has to feed, clothe, and shelter residents of this country, whether the war in Ukraine continues or lockdowns in China are extended. That is the reality of what confronts us today as a serious government. We cannot wait for an opposition to ready itself for us to plan. We can't wait on them for us to act. We have to ready ourselves for the turbulence that lies ahead. We call these elections now because we wanted to turn a new page and to chart a new path for our country. We have reinforced our armor and we are ready for 2023 and for whatever it brings us as a nation and a region. Remember, Dominica leads and others follow. Dominica was the first country in this region, and indeed hemisphere, outside of North America, to have vaccines for the COVID pandemic. We had testing kits when others were still in search of it. Dominica leads the Caribbean today in many spheres of social activities. So we cannot wait for others to get ready. In this party and government, you have to talk and chew at the same time. Our policies could not wait on a lazy, disunited, and unprepared opposition party. We had to position ourselves for takeoff. Seniors in this country shall be guaranteed a livable pension. It shall be paid consistently and on time. Come January, we shall even bring forward the date of eligibility, that is from 70 to 65. Our public officers shall be paid a livable salary, and we shall continue to provide them with the security of tenure needed to go about planning their lives. Come January, people who work under the beautification and cleanup program of the NEP, you will no longer be given 6 months contracts and working 3 days a week. It will be 5 days a week and 2-year contracts. Ladies and gentlemen, I met 3 weeks ago with the private sector, and we are committed to addressing several of the nagging issues that undermine the efficient function of the system and which will make it easier for local and visitors alike to do business in our country. We're about constructive development, ladies and gentlemen. We're about creating opportunities for skilled young people who are returning home fully qualified and raring to go with respect to contributing professionally to the development of this country. There is no sector in this regard that gives me more pleasure and satisfaction than in healthcare, where several of our leading consultants and specialists at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital are Dominican citizens to the bone. So, ladies and gentlemen, the election on Tuesday, December 6th, are not about the silly tantrums being thrown by our detractors. They say that they're not running, yet they're up and down in the country asking people to vote for independent candidates. So they can in turn buy out the independents and wriggle their way back into the parliament of this country. Half the Workers' Party are saying to vote for independents. The other half are telling the supporters to go spoil the ballots. If they had such interest in the elections, why didn't they come and contest and fight the Labour Party in the polls, ladies and gentlemen? You know why they didn't contest the elections? Because they knew their candidate in La Plaine could not have defeated Dr. Cassandra Williams. They knew Thompson Fountain would have been defeated by Greta Roberts in Grand Fort, Montjean, and Rivière-Syriac. The United Workers' Party did not send up a candidate in Cassie Bruce because they saw how aggressive and determined Octavia Alfred was about bringing relief to the people of these communities impacted by the adverse weather systems. They saw how united the Labour Party was on the ground and the strength of the machinery of this Dominica Labour Party. They did not file candidates, ladies and gentlemen, because they are afraid of the Dominica Labour Party. We shall not be moved. They were afraid of our new candidate in Collio, Mr. Darren Pinard. They thought they would have had 2 years to come up with a slate of candidates to take on the Dominica Labour Party. They did not see Fenella Wenham coming in Portsmouth. They thought there would have been internal wrangling in the cottage constituency. But Roland Roy is a candidate in whom we are all well pleased, ladies and gentlemen. Lakia Joseph has taken the platform and the constituency of Paybush by storm. They never had a chance in Paybush. And with Lakia Joseph, they're not getting a chance anytime soon. Gregory Riffred never ran away from defeating Marigot. He insisted he would try again next time around. And next time around, ladies and gentlemen, is Tuesday, December 6th. This is the best opportunity Labour supporters in that constituency will ever have to elect a Labour representative in the parliament of this country. I want Gregory Revere back in parliament as the new PAL rep for the Marigot constituency. They had a candidate lined up for Fidel Grant in this constituency. But when the poor fellow hit the road and started moving around the constituency, he realized Fidel Grant was too established in the Wesley constituency. Fidel Grant. He realized that the elderly love Grant, the young boys like Grant, and the young ladies trusted Fidel Grant and his dignified way of handling issues in that constituency. The opponent they had lined up for Wesley threw in the towel, both in the constituency and in the race for leadership of that party. And you have never seen him since then. I want Fidel Grant to return to Parliament on Tuesday evening as a duly elected member of Parliament for the Wesley constituency.
Fidel Grant, oh Papa God, the best candidate.
I consider Fidel Grant to be a friend, a brother, a comrade, and an ally. And I like the guy very much, ladies and gentlemen. He has my back, I have his back, and I will ensure he delivers for you, the people of this constituency. And what can I say? What can I say about the Vickers constituency? They did not send up a candidate because the young man who they sent last time seems to have fallen out of favor with the stalwarts of the Workers' Party. He wanted to run elsewhere, but they told him he has to remain there. Well, the Vickers constituency has always been declared in these elections. And I am tonight declaring the Vickers constituency for the next 6 elections, ladies and gentlemen.
It's my PM family. Never still the best choice. You can talk and make your lies.
So from now until 2050, the Vickers constituency shall be the first to be called for the Dominica Labour Party. So ladies and gentlemen, we are happy tonight to be here at Woodford. And I find Woodford a bit chilly, a bit cold. Because I kept wondering why we have so many children in Woodford Hill. But when I came here tonight, I said, the place is so cold. Now I know why. We are happy to be within a stone's throw of the new international airport. Many projects, as I said, need to be prioritized, but none shall be worked on more earnestly than a new international airport in Dominica. So I say to you, ready ourselves. American Airlines are telling us that there's tremendous potential in this destination. They want to fly a bigger plane from Miami and have a direct service from New York. British Airways and Virgin Atlantic are paying very close attention to the number of hotel projects we have underway in Dominica. My dear people, something is happening in this country, and it is so exciting. Something is happening in Dominica, and our detractors cannot take it, ladies and gentlemen.
Something's happening, and it's so exciting.
We have paused for a national reset, and after that, we shall press the accelerator in this country. We shall pursue crucial projects in earnest. We shall bring about long-lasting and meaningful change in Dominica, my dear people. We shall build a dynamic Dominica for residents and visitors alike to live, work, and enjoy. My dear people of the North, Northeast, South, and Southeastern districts, this is my earnest plea to you. I know many of you will come to St. Joseph tomorrow evening. But just in case you do not come to St. Joseph tomorrow, to that final meeting, just in case you do not watch it on social media, I want to appeal to each and every one of you to go out on Tuesday and cast your vote. Vote wisely. Let your vote count. Vote for the candidates of the Dominica Labour Party. Do not worry yourself about the confusing messages being sent by the other side. Some are saying go, others are saying stay. Yet others are saying go and spoil your ballots. I cannot imagine that a political party anywhere in the world, in the modern civilized world, would instruct voters to go and spoil a hard-earned right and civic duty. This is unbelievable behavior that we're seeing in our country. Tonight, we're not bothering with them. My advice to you is to ignore them. Go out on Tuesday and vote early for the candidates of the Dominica Labour Party. And let us together embark on 2023 with a strong, focused, and united resolve to grapple whatever challenges may come our way as a nation and as a people. This Dominica Labour Party has friends, has connections, and experience to navigate this country through whatever adversity confronts us. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great night. Let us continue to work together. Let us go out on election day and vote for the Labour Party. Nothing can be worse than Hurricane Maria, the COVID-19 pandemic, and this government of the Dominican Labour Party overcame them both. This Dominican Labour Party is up to the task. It is fit for purpose. It has the best team for these times. We have the best teams for the times. Look at our candidates, ladies and gentlemen. Almost unprecedented in our history that you have such caliber of candidates making themselves available for elections. And so, ladies and gentlemen, solidarity is key. By any measure, this Dominican Labour Party is better than the rest. There is really nothing to compare. Go out on Tuesday, December 6th, and place your vote next to the shoe. Laborites, whatever may be concerning you, let us sit over the holidays and thrash it out. Let us not drop our guards, my dear people. If you need to speak with me, hit me up and let us talk over the holidays. But do not talk about you vex and you're not voting. Please, I ask of you not to gamble with the future of this country, not to gamble with the future of your children. Go out and support your Dominica Labour Party. And together we shall work things out and work things out in 2023 and beyond. Thank you for coming out this evening. Thank you for showing your support in the Western Constituency for Fidel Grant. And as I said to the voters of Granby last night, on election morning, this thing of bathing before we go to vote is nonsense. You go to vote just as how you wake up. There is no time for makeup. There is no time for eyelashes. There is no time to fix your wig. There is no time, ladies and gentlemen. Whether we have lashes in our eyes, we're going to vote just like that. So we're going out early. As we wake up, we jump up, we go to the polls. When you vote, you come back and you take a shower, you put your clothes, you put your eyelashes, your extensions, you do your refill, and you're ready for victory December 6th, ladies and gentlemen. Because by midday on December 6th, all of us would have voted, ladies and gentlemen. So when you're going to vote, take your granny with you, take grandpa with you, take children with you, take grandchildren with you. All of us going as one family to vote on election morning, ladies and gentlemen. I do not want you to say that Labour has won already. No, Labour can only win already when you would have voted, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you. I thank you. And I give you the assurance. I give you the assurance that this party will never forget you. This party will never let you down, ladies and gentlemen. We will work even harder in this new term to deliver to you, the people of Dominica. God bless you. God bless our country. God bless the Dominica Labour Party. Thank you very much.